Why would you just not use another bullet and kill him? Because you already announced that you're there by shooting him once. I'm not a fan of walking down the center of the hallways like the character is doing. You want to stick to the side to lower your signature and making sure that nobody's left. As he's coming around the hallways, as he's coming around the corners, you definitely don't want your hands being stuck straight out because anybody coming around can see that. You want to present them at the last possible moment and take the shot. So I would back up a little bit in that because his hands and his gun are already in the next room. Anybody in the corners could see that. So I'd back up. You're not losing anything. You're gaining actually a tactical advantage. So with the use of night vision, you definitely want to use it, but you have ambient light to look around, then night vision is kind of a hindrance at that point. So almost flashlights would be better in some cases. Probably if you're fifth in the stack, you probably shouldn't be sweeping your buddy just like that. Yeah, that's pretty stupid. It's fascinating to blankly shoot back into a wall because you don't know where your target is or if there's any innocence on the inside.
No, get down, get down!
Don't shoot. Don't shoot, please. They were going to kill me. They locked me in here.
That's interesting that they were able to see that on the desk, knowing what it was before they shot at her. Again, walking straight up to a door like that, not good. You want to be off to the side, so in case bullets start come flying out, like his two teammates were, not just running right up to it. Depending on what the mission is at the time, for them to blow past all those potential barriers that nobody is hiding behind them, ready to shoot back, they just went by all that stuff. That's something to consider as you go. So eyes should be looking left and right as you come across. As you move past that, just to make sure that nobody's sitting there ready to flank you. Stacking on the door right in front, not a good idea. Want to come in from an angle. Again, sweeping of the first person shooter, sweeping across his buddies, that's not acceptable. Not acceptable at all. He should be ready to bring his weapon down to engage, but he'd be shooting him right in the back right now. One person entry, never a good thing. Always two people go in a minimum. You never have one person going alone. I like how he actually took a knee behind the bed, used a little bit of concealment. But even then, he could have taken a better position. You would never walk in front of him on that. It would be on me and stack on the door. When talking to the locals, they know the place like the back of their hand. They know the movements of what's been going on lately inside their buildings, inside their neighborhood. And so they can help you determine or answer your questions that you have. I understand the need for video games, but there's always so much chatter on the radio. Moving pretty fast at night though. That's impressive without making a sound. That'd be something cool to do in a video game for them, like if somebody's in front of you, to high port the weapon or drop the barrel, low port it. That's fast, like how the guy on the right charged in front of the dude that had the direct shot on him. So nobody's reacting to the light being shot? It's funny, even with silencers, there is a bit of a sound. So the fact that nobody reacted to, well, there's no yelling, screaming, gunfire, shooting in the potential directions is quite interesting. It definitely lessens the decibels, but it's not like what you see in the movies. So why would you ditch your primary weapon, which has a better maximum effective range, for a secondary weapon like this, when you're more accurate with a primary weapon? And now he's back up to a primary. Why just keep the primary? Yeah, there's no reason why you couldn't shoot. Again, it's all depending upon like the speed in which you're coming down, how you're coming down. But to ditch my primary weapon for a handgun, which is out here, which is much more difficult because it's only being held by like your hand, versus being able to pull in your primary weapon to have it supported by your body. Even if you were coming down Aussie style like he was, you could stop, take that shot much easier, I think, than you could with that. Because then also like your secondary weapon is secured inside a holster. Where'd your primary one go? Unless you secured that behind you. But then, otherwise it could be flopping around. I wouldn't ditch my primary weapon for a secondary personally. You have a much better optic on your primary weapon than you do your handgun. Again, the dude in front of you just got shot and you're just gonna stand there waiting for him to get it. Why aren't you receiving a barrage of gunfire? So in that scenario there, everybody on the target is bad because you can barely see the bad guy in this game, and he's able to take the shots and be effective. Hopefully they're bad guys and not a random innocent. See, this would be a good time right now to actually say, hey, do you have an extra mag? Put the secondary away, pick up your primary, borrow a mag from your buddy, and get you back to your primary weapon, not be running around with a pistol. So you have a gun, a handgun, and they have a combat helicopter, a gunship. I would not feel superior in this moment. Absolutely do not let go of your hostage at that time. Hell no. Your hand is on him at all times and you're pretty much driving him forward, or if he says turn left, but you never let go of him. You're responsible for him once you get him.